Hey guys, in this video we're going to be building a gallery application with Svelte and Tailwind CSS. So let's get on to the video right away. So as you can see, this is the gallery application that we are building. It is entirely a user interface with Sveltekit and Tailwind CSS. And the thing about this thing is that it's also very responsive as well. So if we come here, okay, if we come here to really small screens, you can see that it is really responsive. I'm going to be showing you how to do that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to be showing you how to do all these things in this video. So what I might do a tutorial where I might add a backend, a Firebase backend, so that you can upload images to this thing. That would be really cool, right? So tell me what you think about it in the comment section below, and you can drop a you can subscribe to the video. It's totally up to you. So let's get started right away. So first of all, you need to come to GitHub. You don't necessarily have to have a GitHub account, I'm sure for this, but you have to come to GitHub. We're not doing anything super complex here. So we have two branches, the main branch and the starter branch. So for those of you who are seeking the final files, that is this project essentially, that is you will go to the main branch. But for those of you who want to code this and learn along, you start from the starter branch. When you click on the starter branch, okay, when you click on the starter branch, you're gonna have all these files essentially. So what you're gonna do essentially is that you're gonna download this, as in you can come to code here, click on download. You're gonna download this and you're gonna run npm install to install these dependencies. When you install the dependencies, it's gonna look something like this. So this folder is not needed. You can forget about this. It's not really, you don't really need that. So what the only major difference between the code that is on GitHub and here is the presence of the node modules file. This is the dependencies that the app needs to run. So make sure you run that npm I command. The reason why we don't put this on GitHub is because it's too big. So make sure it's too big essentially to be on GitHub. I think GitHub uploading limit is 25 MB. I think it's more than 25 MB, but it's not extremely big as a React application, because React applications are very, very big. So to get started, let's just run npm run dev. Okay, let's see what we get. So as you can see, let's quickly go through the starter files. As you can see here, we have the header. We also have three components because there are three sections to this website, and the footer is completely optional. So we have the header, and we're just simply importing the header here. And you can see if you come to the source, you can see come to the lib folder. So if you have never done anything in Sveltekit before, I'm just quickly going to go through all the files. The Sveltekit, we don't need to worry about that. This is where all the dependencies of our application are. And the source folder, we'll come to the source folder in a minute. The static folder is where you keep your static, no, not where you keep your static images, but there are static images for like the HTML file that it is being compiled to. This ESLint and is just for like Visual Studio Code and stuff. This is to this is for when you are uploading with Git. It tells GitHub to ignore the node modules file and stuff like that. This is from npm, as that simple. Again, prettier from Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code. So this one you don't have to worry about this one. This is not in star file. It's kind of like a note to myself. The netlify.tomify, this helps you for when you want to deploy it. If I deploy it at the end of the video, maybe I might show you how to deploy the project. The package logic shows that the dependencies are installed. Package addition tells it what dependencies to install, and these are just some Tailwind CSS configurations. So the source folder, we have the lib folder. The lib is for keeping static assets. We have the photo files here that we're going to be using. You don't keep it in a static folder. So the routes, okay. So in Sveltekit, the routing system is essentially simple. The layout file is not a route, it's not a component, it's something different. It's like the root file for all the routes. The page of Svelte, this is the base page. As in what I mean by a base page is that is the first page in the component. So if I write a H1 for example now that says I am the first page, okay, sorry, first page in the component. So We come here. Okay, let's make sure to click. Here. One of the advantages of Svelte is that it builds fast. It's very lightweight and it's actually pretty nice to write code. So we'll check that in a moment. So as in every route has a plus page dot file. So for example, now if I make a new folder here and I call this about, for example, now I put in a plus page dot svelte, this is going to go to the about page. So it's going to go to the about page like so. So if I come here, it says I'm the first page in the component. And if I come to slash about, it's going to show you the about page. So that's how the routing system essentially works in a nutshell. But uh, things that don't have a plus in front of them are not a route. Layout is an exception here. The plus page also does not have a things generally with plus are normally route plus page or route. And if I'm to talk about the layout file, maybe I'll talk about it in a later video. I want to be leave you guys in suspense. Okay, so we have just three components here: header, footer, grid, and footer. I told you is completely optional, and we already have the footer pre-made for us. Everything is already installed. Tailwind is working perfectly. Everything is working. So this is just very very easy. Yeah? Sometimes I wish I had somebody that will give me Tailwind stuff. Okay, so let's start. So we are importing the profile photo from whatever from this directory. And the thing about the lib, why you keep it in the lib is not because we like naming things lib. The reason why you keep it in the lib folder is because of the fact that it can be accessed from anywhere in our application instead of doing something like dot slash dot 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 slash dot 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 that kind of rubbish. We don't do that. That's why I put inside a lib folder. That's also another key perk of Circle. Okay, so we have a header tag here, and inside this header tag we have this is self-closing actually. So we have this place, and we have essentially we have two sections in the header tag essentially. So as you can see, the two sections are essentially this image and the text here and this kind of like tab functionality. So let's start doing the HTML accordingly. So we have the image here, and we're gonna say we don't have to just say anything. We can just say profile photo. I can put an alt tag here. I didn't actually put this in the final file, but it doesn't really matter that much. So we want to have 2H4. I think it's Rodney. Okay, let me just come here and copy it. We'll copy the. Okay, Rodney Cotton. Okay, is this one that we need to copy? Rodney Cotton. Okay, why are we getting that error? Okay, I think we should put image should be self-closing and stuff like that. Okay. Okay, so we're pretty much done with the first section of it, and so inside here we're gonna give this class of tab container. And actually, it's not actually mandatory to give it this kind of tab container, but I just like saying it because it makes the code makes you able to understand what's going on essentially. So you know that this is a tab container because TailwindCSS can get very messy very quickly. So this is a tab. So inside here, what do we want to have essentially? As you can see, we just have a post, a two H4s that essentially, or rather two paragraphs. I think I'm not quite sure. 100, no, sorry, not 1,000. 100 posts. Save. So you just want to just copy and paste this multiple times. So paste. So this should be let's look at it. 224. It doesn't really matter actually. Followers. 1432 followers, right? Okay, following. Okay. Okay, now. So we've done the HTML for the header tag, and it kind of looks like this, which is not actually what we want it to look like. So let's start getting to work. Let's start doing some magic now. So this is where the magic begins to happen. So I forgot to mention one major thing that's going to make TailwindCSS an absolute joy to work with. So which is actually the Tailwind CSS extension. I cannot overemphasize the importance of this extension, guys. You need to get this extension right now. If you don't have this extension, you shouldn't even be watching this video. Okay, I'm just exaggerating, but the extension is actually amazing. If not for this extension, I'm not sure I'll be using Tailwind CSS on the recording this video right now. Okay, so what do we have to do? First of all, we want to center everything. So centering everything properly with the image is actually easier said than done. Okay, flex. Okay, so what we want to do is that we also want to just put everything inside a general div. Okay, I just want to just put both, make sure that both of the elements are still kind of like connected in a way. Okay, so we want to come here and put everything inside here. Save. Okay, good. So what we want to do is I want to try to center it. So see something like justify center. Okay, nice, 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 nice. We want to say text align, text center to center the text. Nice, nice, nice. An image is going to be a problem. So there's a way you can output dynamic values in Tailwind CSS. We can do something like width bracket and the amount of width we want to say. So we want to give it 160 pixels was what I used. I remember that precisely. Okay, now we have to give this some border. So I use the rounded. As you can see, the Tailwind CSS class. Pretty amazing, right? Rounded large. Okay, looking good. So I gave this guy a MT, which is margin top, but I think it's 3. Okay, so it's already looking like it's small, but I'm sure you are beginning to see it already. Okay, so what we have to give this tab container now some of its own classes. So we want to see something like flex. As you can see, as you gave it a flex, the image shifted. So as we keep on starting this part of it, the image is going to start shifting, and you're going to understand why there are more than one, why there are multiple divs essentially. So let's keep on going. I want to give it a justify between. Okay. Okay. So what we want to do to each tab is I want to give each tab a BG of the Tailwind CSS extension, slate 300. Want to give it a padding of 3. Actually, what I did here was I gave it px padding, which is padding on the x-axis. So the x-axis will be on the left and the right. We gave it padding of 4 and padding y 2. So normally want to give it. It's the same logic when you are styling the button. Okay, let's give it 1. Okay, so we want to give it rounded large. So it's not quite looking like the one that is there actually, but it's really close. It doesn't actually matter that much. Save. Okay, yeah, we have that. The one in the middle, we want to reduce the padding, maybe give them padding something like 2, px2, because they are going to be longer than normal. Okay, good. As you can see, the image is shifting. The image is shifting. That's why I wanted you to pay attention to. So what we have to do now, we'll fix that image shifting in a moment. So let's drag this down, so you can see this more clearly. Let me know if you can see it. Okay, I think this is too much, right? Okay, so let's keep on going. So what we want to do here is I want to give this a width of like 300 pixels. Okay, now you can see how the image has shifted. So that's what this div is essentially for. So we want to say something like want to give this guy some, we say flex colon. Okay, so flex colon is going to make it it's going to make sure, because when you notice that when we gave it flex the first time, the elements were side by side in the row, so it's going to make a colon. Essentially nothing is going to happen. It's going to remain the same way it is right now. So I want to give this justify content, justify center. So I told you that like getting this guy to center was harder than it looks. I told you guys before. But what's happening here is that the image is having some strange margin. So to control it, we just give it margin auto. And now it's centered. Pretty nice. Oof. I wonder how long this video is gonna be like. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like 30 minutes tops. Okay, so now let's continue. Okay, that was pretty easy, right? So you see, Tailwind CSS is actually pretty nice. So let's go to the grid. You think the grid is actually the hardest part of this entire build. It's actually the easiest, and I'll show you guys. So we start with a div class of container grid, right? This is pretty basic. This is going to tell Tailwind CSS that this is a grid. As you can see, display grid. So we want to add these 6 images. So I want to say image. I could have included this in the starter files, but I just want to just code it with you guys slowly, so you guys are not too so it's not too fast. So we say image source photo one. As you can see, we can see photo one there. Copy, 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 copy. So we say photo two, photo three, photo four, photo. Here's in photo four. There's an underscore, not a. So save. Okay, now we see those images. Even though they are in grid, they are not properly aligned the way we want them to be aligned. So first of all, we are going to give this a width of 900 pixels. So don't even bother looking at the browser right now. It's going to be something else essentially. So we want to say grid colon 3. This is going to give it a 3 column grid. Okay, grid column 3. So essentially it's going to look something like this, but it's not as in any way the way we want it. So let's start aligning some stuff. So we want to give this width full, height full. And let's not do that. We're going to do that essentially, but let's show you. We're going to do that later so that you know why you have to state those classes so you won't forget them. So first of all, what do we have to do? Actually, if you look at here, sorry, if you look at here, this image spans one column, while this image spans 2 columns. This image spans 2 columns, this one spans one, and this one spans 2 rows. So essentially it's simple. It spans 1 column, this spans 2 column, this spans 2 column, this spans is 1 column, 1 column, 1 column, while this spans 2 rows. As you can see, if we open into CSS, for example now, and we come here to the body, inside the body, come here to the header class of sorry, let's go into the grid. As you can see, grid. As you pull up the CSS grid inspector, as you can see, come here. As you can see, this image here is spanning 2 rows, 2 columns, sorry, column one, two, three. So it's spanning one and two. Why this guy is spanning one? So this guy is spanning two, guy is spanning one. So like that, like that, like that, like that. That's how we're gonna be doing it. Okay. So we're gonna say grid. So we're gonna say colon. First one spans one, so colon span one. Okay. Photo two, we're gonna say colon span dash two. For photo three, we want to say colon span one. Okay. Actually, for photo three, colon span two. For photo four, it's that light image. It's also going to span 1 column, but it's going to span 2 rows. That is double the height. Colon span one. 5, 5, and 6 is just colon span one, colon span one. So that was easy enough, right? But we are not done. So see what we have here. So this is what I'm going to show you the reason why you're going to have to put that height full. So we're going to say margin auto to center it, and magically it is centered. Okay. Okay. Why? Okay. So we're giving this alt. Okay. So because I noticed something was weird. So class. Yeah. Although it's going to complain hence. So you can see it's starting to take shape small by small. Okay. So you can see that there's space here. There's space here, space here. There are unnecessary spaces. Okay. So what we want to do is I want to give each one of them that width. As you can see in image two, if we give it that width full, height full, it's going to occupy that height. So you get why we are doing that right now. So as you can see, there is space here. So you want to properly align this guy because this guy is taking double the column. I want to make sure that these guys take up the full height and full width that is available to that column. So we want to give this to everybody. So everybody is going to be needing this. So you know why we are doing it right. And I'm going to tell you this. So you're going to have to put your alt tag if you don't want these accessibility warnings. Let's look at that. That's looking much better. So this guy is spanning two columns, which is not supposed to be so. So I will address that in the CSS. So we're going to say it's spanning two rows. Sorry, rows are the vertical. When I say rows, I mean the height. So columns. So this should be row span one. Okay, so let's take away the height full here for a minute. And so we have this space. So what we want to do, we want these guys over here to start from here. So what we want to do is images 4 and 5. Instead of saying column span, essentially telling how many columns to span, you can tell it what row to start from. So this is row 1, row 2. This is essentially row 3 and 4. Okay. So row starts, I think. So row starts from 3, row end 4. Okay, that did not go well. So let's take that back for a minute. This images, okay, we gave that to image, it's supposed to be image 5 and 6. Sorry, my bad, guys. My bad, guys. So what we do, that's not quite working yet, but let's first give this lamp image, sorry. Let's first give this lamp image its proper row. So say lamp image is supposed to span two rows. So row span 2. Okay, now that's working properly. As you can see now, that's working properly. So what we have to do is I want to make this take its full height back. So I hope that wasn't confusing. Height full. Okay, now that takes its full height. So what we just want to just do now is simple. So what we want to do is I want to give everything a rounded class. So rounded large, rounded large, copy, paste, come here. Because this is essentially border radius, right? Okay, now, so what we have to do now is that we have to give this a gap. So gap is like space. Is like margin, but it's better than margin. So gap. Nice. So we have recreated it. What you have to do is do two things. Give the margin this margin top first. So I want to say MT3. I think 3 is like a lucky number here. So what we want to do is I want to make this responsive. And again, you probably think that making this responsive is difficult, but it's actually again very easy. As you can see, it's not responsive at all. So making it responsive is also very easy, and this is what I'm going to say I'm going to be showing you in this video. So start, what I want to do is I want to say grade. We're not doing this with Tailwind CSS. We want to give this max width 900 pixels. So we are not giving it width, we're giving it max width. Max width and width are two different things. Okay, I'm not going to go over explaining that. Maybe I'll do a short on it, but max width and width are two different things. As max width helps to make it more responsive. Okay, so as you can see, it's more responsive. But there's still one problem, is that it doesn't have that margin again. So to fix that, we're going to say max width 900 pixels. Want to say grade. When it goes beyond that, below 900 pixels, we want to say max width should be 90%. So you can see it's responsive. Very easy, right? It's responsive. Probably not what she told you to. Told you to be doing one kind of crazy CSS. Okay, now so we're essentially done with this challenge. As you can see, it looks nearly the same thing, like the same thing. what we have to do is that we have to just change this Rodney cutting, which I just noticed. So what we want to say is I want to give this a class of font bold, and I think is text Excel. Okay, essentially we have built this challenge from scratch. Okay, this was not easy. I actually did this because of one guy telling me to do projects on Sveltekit. I did a poll on the channel saying what you guys want. Although the React won the poll actually, but why don't I just do, because that guy actually commented and I actually felt like doing it because Stroke is actually really nice and stuff like that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you wanted me to show you how to deploy this is actually very simple to deploy. I will show you a dev tool post quickly on how to deploy it. So if I search for example now, how to deploy Sveltekit to Netlify, there's an amazing post by this guy on DevTool. So if you come here and you follow the steps step by step, your app will be deployed to Netlify. And if you don't know Netlify, just make an account. So what you do is that we have done this one. We have a netlify.toml, but you don't need to worry about this stage again. The Netlify adapter is included in the starter file. See, I've helped you to do most of the load and the heavy lifting. So what you just have is just run npm i on the starter file. So this part is already done. So what you just do is that you just go to Netlify, create a GitHub repo, put the code on it, and go to Netlify, click new site from Git, then accept the default option, then it is already deployed. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Making this video was not actually easy at all. It may I might have made it look easy, but it wasn't actually easy at all because I had to do a lot of things to do it. So thanks, guys.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and I'll catch you in the next video.